Hello my friends, welcome back to another episode on hairwork techniques. Now last episode we talked about three-dimensional wirework techniques, the sort of flowers that you see in hair wreaths. But today I want to talk about palette work. Now palette work is identifiable by the fact that it is, well, flat. Now while you'll start to see a lot of the same techniques used over and over in the hair wreaths, the palette work pieces can be a little more versatile. You'll start to see more diversity and a wider variety of pictures. They can be anything from elaborate grave scenes commemorating a deceased loved one, or they can be more abstract, aesthetically pleasing designs like a series of curls and swoops. Both of these pieces are French, and it's very common to see French palette work in black and gold bordered oval frames like this, but you can also see palette work hair under glass in jewelry. Palette work gets its name from the actual palette that the artists used to create the hair picture on. Palette work artists would use things like water, adhesive, knives, and paintbrushes to arrange the hair artfully into whatever shape they would like. Once the piece was finished and they were satisfied with the way the hair looked, it would often be placed on glass or ivory to be framed or placed in a locket. Palette work artists were able to do some of the shapes and designs more free-form on the palette, but in order to get very clean lines and very straight edges, they would use a tool called gold beater skin. Now as you can see here, it's a very thin tissue, but it's very, very sturdy. And keep in mind, it's not quite as simple as just gluing the hair onto the gold beater skin. The artist had to take very special care to make sure that none of the hairs were crossed or layered. So each individual hair had to lay side by side and flat in order for this technique to work. So it could be very meticulous work, very time-consuming. But once the hair was affixed appropriately to the gold beater skin, the artist could then cut the gold beater skin with hair attached into whatever shapes they needed to get those very clean, straight lines. In all honesty, gold beater skin is made from the intestinal lining of an ox, so it's not exactly the most vegan option in the world, but it got the job done. Then there's the whole matter of curling the hair. A lot of designs like the Prince of Wales feather were very, very common, but required the hair to be curled in order to keep the proper shape. And have you ever seen a Victorian era curling iron? They don't exactly plug into the wall. So what these women actually needed to do was place the hair in the curling iron, roll it up, and hold it over a candle in order to get hot enough to keep its shape. And every Victorian lady knows the struggle of holding their hair to a fire. Sorry if that joke fell a little flat. I'll try to come up with something a little more palatable.